going on YouTube? But Great Blades here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Artisan Cutlery Andromeda. Let's start with some measurements. The overall size of the knife is 8 inches with a 3.5 inch blade and about a 3.3 inch cutting edge. The blade stock thickness on this one is going to be about 100 thousandths. So pretty slicey. Comes down to a pretty thin edge there. Do a size comparison. Got the Demco 20.5. And then the QSP Penguin. So this is longer than both of them. Again, probably about a 1/4 inch here on the Demco, and quite a bit more on the QSP Penguin here. Do a quick carry profile compared to the Penguin here. They're about the same. Maybe the Penguin's a tiny bit thicker. Compared to the Demco, it is substantially thinner. Let's do a quick measurement on the weight here. This is going to come in about 3.25 ounces. Maybe, hold on. 3.2. Yeah, about 3.25 ounces. So it's pretty much right in line with that 1 inch cutting edge, or sorry, an ounce and inch for the blade. And this is a button lock. It's a titanium button lock. If I can get it, there is some very subtle but nice micro milling in the titanium here. This is the more premium version. This one is titanium with S35 for the blade steel. And they're heat treating the S35 to about 59 to 61. 59 is a little bit low. 60, 61 would be a bit better, but it's still not too bad for Artisan Cutlery. And S35 is a plenty good steel. And this is running on, if I can get it, hold on. Kind of hard to see in there. But it's running on ceramic bearings on the inside. So this is a super smooth button lock. And I'm usually not a huge fan of button locks. Sometimes the button is either raised up too high, so you might hit it on accident if it's in your pocket or if you're squeezing down on it, but this one doesn't have either of those issues. It's also a pretty good feeling button. There's no crunch to it. Some companies, their button locks are crunchy and like gritty feeling. This one has none of that. This one I also picked up from a friend. secondary, so it was kind of nice and broken in as well. And only a few scuffs there on the pocket clip, but that doesn't bother me too much. And so you can use the thumb studs to open this, both the forward and the reverse flick. You can use the button if you so chose. Technically speaking, you can also use this to front flip it. I am unable to do so, but I have seen people do it, so I know it is possible, but I'm just not good enough. I guess I have weak little baby hands or something, but I cannot do so. But I wouldn't want to, even if I could. I think the thumb studs are plenty good anyways, so I wouldn't really need to. The other versions of this, there's a black one, black titanium with a black blade as well. This one is kind of like a mirror or near mirror sort of satin on it. I think it looks pretty nice. And these are made in China. Of course, Artisan Cutlery being a Chinese knife company. I would probably describe this as a drop point, a really long drop point, maybe even a spear point potentially, but either way, this thing is super duper thin on that edge. Crazy slicey. Definitely wouldn't use it to go batoning or anything like that, but if you need to slice things up pretty finely, definitely a good one here. Now, I'm sure many of you saw this and instantly recognized the designer, because this was a collaboration between Artisan Cutlery and Ray Laconico. Definitely has the design language of other Ray Laconico designs. And ergonomically speaking, this section is just straight. There's no area that really locks you in, which is a little bit nice, and then they flare out the end here, so you're not super likely to slip off the end here. And you know, you can squeeze up all the way here, full 4-finger grip, at least for me. You could go back here, you could choke up a little bit. There is that little bit of jimping on the front there, and then it does have a slight notch as well, so you can get up a little bit further if you want to. You can't really choke up on the bottom here because this is just a sharpening choil, no forward finger choil. But ergonomically speaking, it's just a straight line. It's comfortable, it's got a slight curve to it. The pocket clip, you could feel it just a little bit, you know, and kind of your bottom of your knuckles here, the top part of your palm, if you're really squeezing down on it, but it's not so uncomfortable that you wouldn't be able to use this knife for an extended period of time cutting boxes and things like that. And the clip truthfully does work very nice. It's a nice clip. It's got a nice springiness to it. It goes in and out of the pocket pretty well. The hardware on this, give it a quick check. I think it might actually be T6. Let's check. The body screws are definitely T6, but the pivot is going to be a T8. So they at least have the pivot T8, which is ideal, and the body screws being T6 is fine. You just gotta be careful with them, take your time, get a nice bit driver. I use Wea bits and the Wea kind of like stubby bit driver. I think it's pretty nice. I've never had a problem stripping any of the screws in my knives, but like I said, just take your time, just in case, you don't want to strip a little tiny screw like that and not be able to disassemble your knife for any reason. But the pivot's T8, so you should have no issues there with that. And this one in particular, with it being the sort of more premium one, this one was $200, which I have no problem. I would have had no problem paying that brand new. But they also do have two different budget versions. They have a micarta one with the S35. That one's about, I think, $130, somewhere around there. And then they also have a real true budget version, which is G10 and what did they use? AR RPM 9, which is Artisan Cutlery's sort of proprietary budget steel that they use. So if you like the design but you're not willing to pay $200 or $130, or if you just want some different materials, they do offer those as well. The thumb studs are out of the way of your cutting path, so those aren't going to get in the way, so you do get the full 3.3 inches, I think, for the blade, for the actual cutting edge there. You do get that full length without the thumb studs getting in the way. And this is a pretty thin, as far as width, knife, so it's pretty easy to carry in your pocket. It's not, you don't really notice it, to be honest. It just kind of sits there nicely, and I've never had any issues with that. Overall, I really do enjoy this knife. Sometimes it doesn't get as much pocket time, I think, as it deserves, so I might have to carry it a little bit more in the next bit here. But overall, I do really enjoy this. I think the price is nice, and them having the budget options I think is also a really nice move. AR RPM 9 is a plenty good blade steel as well. If you're just cutting some boxes and tape and things like that, as I tend to do with my knives, you'll have no issues with that. And that's going to be it, guys. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know. Do you guys have this knife? Have you used this knife? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.